Okay, everybody should be able to see me now. We're going to try this again. My first attempt at this didn't work so well. So you guys can feel free to give me comments, questions, anything. I will try and answer them to the best of my ability on air. So we're going to start up our, actually the oldest engine I have, which is a 1924 Fairbanks engine. And it should start up on this first pull. It was running just a minute ago. Come on, old girl. Okay, well, we had a little something. Let's try it again. Now we're running. How do you like that? Our next engine is the second oldest engine I got. This one is a 1928 and is a Maytag washing machine engine. And it's a kickstart, so. I'm not going to leave this one running too long because it's really loud. Personally, I don't like running that one that much. It's a lot of fun to run if it's by itself, not if you're running with beautiful people like this. I'm actually going to try and back this one down on the speed a little. See if we can get it to a nice slow idle at about 120 RPM. There we go. Now it's moving slow. And back like this. Okay. Back to 180. I'm going to try this again. And my garage. Okay. And I love our chickens, but when they get in the garage, it's annoying. So this is the chicken that was in my garage. I'm just gonna throw her back up to her run. I'll leave it there alone now. I'm hoping that eventually I can make kind of more of a weekly broadcast, like do 30 minutes every week of running and answering questions, and then maybe. Then I'm hoping that I can broadcast live from a Indian show. It's going to be Richfield. It's the 20th and 21st of September. And I'm hoping to run that all day on both days. It's Friday. It's on a weekend. And everything, these two engines will be there. My Briggs & Stratton will be there. And my tractor will be there. So we'll have a lot of fun with that. Now, one other thing, if you guys want to tweet your comments, or just tweet along with the show right now, use hashtag FlyWheelsForever. It's the same as my channel name, and I will answer questions on that too. Jewel, out of the garage.
Please stay out of the garage.
Two. What? Come back. Set your hand.
Okay. Now, clean it.
Oh, okay. So there's... What? Okay, so everybody should be able to see me right now. I'm checking for any comments you guys might have left. It doesn't look like anybody's commented yet. But we are going to keep this running as long as we can. And I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to go back to the hangout so I can control it. That's a very cool feature.
When did you left? Here we go now.
Oh, there's a nut. I got an idea. Flagpole.
It's metal.
Two I can put in there. The flagpole and the two I can.
It's get out of there. Huh? You want to do it?
Trying to shot.
Are we going to?
No, I'm shooting live. No, I'm gonna let this thing run for like 30 minutes, Mom. There. I shoot for 8 hours, so I'm not gonna go that long. But I'm gonna let it keep running as long as it can. I can't do it from there. Okay, that one's really, but I'm gonna bring it out a little bit right now.
Put down the back.
Okay. This one is one of my projects for 4-H fair this year, and it is a Briggs & Stratton 1976. It's a 2-horsepower engine, and what I did to it is I converted it to propane. Something a little bit different, but the way it works is this little rubber cover that you see down over the stove, and there's a knob on it that connects to the propane tank, and turn it on. It's a good pull. As long as the gas is running right in the car, you shouldn't have any problem keeping this thing running. I think I might have my cover on backwards. That's right. Cover was on backwards there. Even if it's taking on propane like it should. So, to fix that problem, we're going to turn it down. And then we're going to turn the gas on. Here's the gas going. And I just go. And we're turning that alternator. And this thing puts out about 7 volts, which is more than enough to charge your cell phone. Seems like a lot of work, but it is something kind of cool. And it's foot. Put that foot back on. That's a very simple process of taking a mallet. And we're going to put it back on. Okay. Doing another comment check. If I can find my map, there it is. It's really sunny out here. Okay. So, for any of you guys wondering about the hashtag, I'm going to put a comment up. And, there it is. If it wasn't so bright, I could do this really easily. So you guys feel free to comment. Keep them coming, because freaking threatened. So I'm gonna keep the Z running as best I can. We have fuel tank over here yet. Fuel tank slipped up. I'm gonna rest the fuel tank because the fuel pickup doesn't stay in place when the engine is running. So I have to raise the tank up so that it holds in place. The problem that I have with that, occasionally the plate comes out. So I'm going to put it back together as best I can. Any of you guys who were thinking about doing a live event, remember to tell your family to be a little bit quiet while you're shooting. But what are you going to do? Right now I'm putting the fuel check valve back in place. If I can get it in place, there we go. And I'm going to put my wood that I have underneath it, and that should hold it in place on the cart while the engine is running. So to prime the engine, what I'm going to do is I close the choke, push it on the intake, and I slowly roll it over. Let me open the choke up just a little. Put it second notch on the speed control and give it a kick. There we go. And it is now running. And I think there actually is a lag on my camera. Yeah, so you guys are seeing me after I actually do something.
Oh, we gotta put it up. I'll go ahead and put that the board up too. Okay, I'm gonna go see if I can. How about you clear off that table? Keep the glass if you want, but keep it on.
Table?
Perfect. That can be a lot better.
If you love her. Okay, so anyway, I have this couch in my that is my living room, and we moved it downstairs tonight. And I swear it weighs probably about 300 pounds, and it smells terrible. You guys know what else weighs 300 pounds and smells terrible? My mom. Just kidding, but still, it's funny. Yeah. Okay, so this here is from my last show that I did, which is from Rock River Threshery, and it's very interesting. It's a slab of wood that was cut with a drag saw and I think it was a 6 horsepower Camus is powering it. If you guys think you need to figure out what that knocking sound is, please tell me, because it's driving me insane. Yeah. Apparently, this exhaust pipe is too heavy, which kind of sad, because I really like this one, but I'm going to have to go somewhere else. And while I'm out here working, I figured that I would show the cover that holds the Virgin Stratton Turpentine cover on. And all it is it's just a piece of floor tile, like kind of like a big wood flooring, and it just covers up the propane tank, so it essentially just protects the valve, and it just screws down back here in the back. And there's going to be a live video similar to this, and but it's going to be at an actual engine show. So we're going to have probably close to 2,000 engines running, and it'll be a video feed that's from my booth where I show. So I'll have Maytag, the Virgin Stratton, my bareback horse, and my Ford 8N all at the show. And I'll be using a Wi-Fi hotspot, so it might be a little bit slower connection, but you guys will still get to check in. I'll check in with you guys throughout the day. I think it's going to be a real fun time. So I will see you guys on the 20th and the 21st of September, I believe is when the show is. I'll schedule the event probably today, and then you guys can check in when I go live, and we'll check it out. So I'll probably go live at about 7 o'clock in the morning on the 20th of September, and that's when we'll start shooting. We'll go all day until about 6. Of course, there'll be like maybe a 10-minute break for lunch and refueling, but that's about it. Don't forget, you guys can tweet along using #FlywheelsForever. Feel free to use that, and I will answer your questions on Twitter. And if you comment, I can answer them on air right here on YouTube. Because I'm Kira feeds comments, so there. Now the safety cover's on, so that's awesome. This engine is ready to go. Probably won't use it anymore today though, because I don't really have anything for it to run. I'm going to check comments again. And okay guys, so feel free to keep watching live. This is going to be up for at least probably another hour. So feel free to watch. I think actually my camera might be backwards. I'm not sure how to fix that, but we'll take a look at it. See, you need to tell your family members to be quiet when you shoot. Otherwise you get serious problems. Okay, so for all you DIY people, this is something kind of interesting I pulled out. It's a turntable out of a TV, and I figure I can make some kind of like cannon looking thing out of this or something. Some kind of model cannon, like, I don't know. I'll come up with something cool to do with this. I will put up a video when when we come up with something to do with that. It's something kind of fun and different. You don't mind. Okay, last but not least, as far as small engines go, we have this old guy. And this one is a 1936 Stover. And I will run her, but not for very long, because the governor bracket, the thing that governs the speed, is broken off. So we're not gonna run that lot. We're not gonna run it without the bracket. So I'm gonna run it, but I'm gonna manually govern the engine so that we can keep track of how fast it's running. So let's try this. Come on, let's start at the time. 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. And that. Sometimes people are setting a govern girl. Right now, I think our problem is our check valve isn't staying in place. Usually, do because there's not enough gas in here. Fill the cup a little bit more. And roll it over to fill it again. So we still got a problem with it, but I'm not going to start without a little bit of persuasion. And by that, I mean taking off the check valve and fuel pickup and rolling it. We pulled off our fuel pickup and screw it. Get it back together. Oil off the check valve, and then I think we'll probably get real quick little start. I won't keep running very long. We'll have to see. If you guys have any suggestions on this, please make some comments, because I would like to get this one running as fast before I take it to the show. And to all the people watching in the channel, we're going to be in Richfield at their annual treasury. kind of weird. Normally, I never have this problem. When we're sitting together. We do have a spark. I'm gonna fix that. Right now, our problem, we don't have it's getting stuck for some reason. Trying to do that. And I can get gas in it, so we should be able to get the start. That's here. So, that's actually need to pull it out. Yeah. Good point. Okay, she's being stubborn today. So, I don't think that one's going to start today. Alright, let's shut it out. There.
Yeah.
There you go. I think it's got enough gas. I think the gas might be gas. And I'm trying to have to run that hard piece. That's my little piece. That's good. Hey, let's get one engine running. One better than none, is what I say. Okay, so everybody, this is Toothless, or White Sultan. He's a very, very sweet bird. He lives in our house, and he also speaks Frostbite. I'm going to let his feet out. There we go. So yeah, so he has no feet, but he gets along pretty well. He's kind of the mascot, I have to say. But anyway. And that's against the fuck. That stopped everything boiling our oiler. And right now, our internal thermometer is saying the water's about 100 degrees. And considering it's only 70 degrees out here, that's pretty good. For some reason it's stalled out. I don't know quite why. We're going to try it again. I do have to say the cast iron does get very warm as it's running. Next thing you gotta watch when you're working around these spark plug wires. That's when they'll gap you. I know I've had that happen to me a couple times, and it's not fun. It's fun to watch, but it's not fun to have happen to you. Occasionally I wipe this thing down, get some dirt off it. That's a little bit nicer. You do occasionally have to adjust the choke so that it won't jam. For some reason I get these little carbon deposits right at the top of the exhaust. Somewhere else, right here at the top. So I wipe those out about every hour I'm running. We're going to try this thing again. Got gas. Hang on. That's content to run, yeah, 180 RPM or so, but usually you run about 20, 240, something like that. Didn't like anything much over 360 though. I get paid $500 for that engine, which I thought was a very good deal considering it was restored. It was on a skid. It was running. I just built parts for it. It's battery and buzz coil ignition. Rated for 600 RPM. It's 2 horsepower. It's a dish pan, which is probably used. And it's probably used to power something like a generator or used on a construction site. Either way, I think it's just a really pretty engine. The hopper is designed for different freezes. The ice expands upward and won't crack it, which is very handy if you leave your engine full of water all the time, which I do, but it comes in during the winter. There's a garage that's below freezing. The K is the same way. It's the big brown one over there. That one, I'm not sure. That one came off a cement mixer, so that explains all the rust. And then the Maytag I bought from a guy. He said he got it at an auction, so it's probably untouched for 60 years. I restored that. And then the Briggs & Stratton, it's 1976, 2 horsepower. And I really don't know much of the history on it, honestly. I think it probably came off an Edger though. Somebody scoop the chickens out of the garage. Man, there's 3 chickens in our garage now. First I picked out 1, now there's 3. That was coming. Oh man. Oh! God. You gotta grab the rooster and you punch the battery and shit. Let me get away. Alright. This is all the chickens I was going for. So, yeah. Brake. Oh man, my hands smell like gas. Oh, it's funny, we're actually getting heat up on the hopper now, so we're starting to see a little bit of steam come out of it. Very, very cool. I've seen this thing get up to about 180 degrees or so. It's about as high as it gets, and that's when it's running under a load for a long time. This engine I use it to power a corn sheller, and I have a video of that on my channel. And the only problem with it though is that occasionally it grabs the belt that drives the corn sheller and then pulls the two into each other, so I'm kind of hesitant to run the two together. After I got sandwiched between the two of them. Luckily, that engine shuts down in like half a second if you kill it. I guess while I'm sitting here, I can go over kind of one thing that I like about these Indians, which is this thing. It's a drip. It's called a drip oiler, and the way it works is you fill this glass bowl up with oil, and you can see it drip down through this little spot. It's called a sight glass, and you count the drips per minute, and then you adjust that with this top knob. Now this little catch on the top, when you flip it up, it turns the oil needle on, and you push it down and turns the oiler off. And there's the filler cover, which you just put oil in it. That's where you fill it up. And this is using the top of the engine. Kind of different. And then there's grease cups in the back. It's full of just like axle grease. And there's oil points all over the engine. There's usually 3 up on the valves, a couple down here in the governor, and usually a couple on the drive shaft area. On this one I got actually 8 points up on the front that I oil. But yeah, and that's pretty much all there is to the oil system, not much. Ignition is either magneto or battery. The magneto is either driven with the governor or directly off the drive. But most of them are battery ignition. These battery back in like the 20s, early 30s, and then about 30 to 40, they were using magnetos. And 40s and 50s were when these things started disappearing, because that's when they had power on all the farms, so you could have electric equipment, or use your tractor. But for light work, these things are amazing. I mean, they burn almost no fuel. So every time you see smoke come out of the stack, that's when it fires, and then the rest of the time, it's just coasting. It's not firing at all, which makes it like ridiculously fuel efficient, especially once you dial it in. I'm gonna adjust this oiler because I'm putting too much oil in. I'm back again by about a quarter of a turn. I'm gonna choke up a little bit. Right now we're reading 120 on the internal thermometer, so we're putting off quite a bit of heat. So I think I'm gonna keep this video up till about 4:30 Central Time, and I'm gonna shut down for the day. And I will resume either tomorrow or sometime next week. If I'm here, I think I'm here next week, so it'll be either tomorrow or next week that I resume filming. Actually, before I shut down, I'm gonna turn off the hit and miss engine, and I'm gonna do a little quick fit on my tractor. Okay, I'm gonna shut that all the way down, turn the engine off, and I'm gonna go start with my tractor, and I'll bring it around. I'll have to move the camera too. That's not that hard. So, considering that I'm not filming on the car hood, I'm not moving that far. Sorry, I had my thumb over the cam. Power over here in place. And I'm going to sit a little bit on an angle here. But so that is our Ford 8N. Very cool. Very old tractor. It's 1950. So that makes it the second newest thing that I have. But we're going to start it up. Turn around. So press the ignition on. Open the valve up to turn. And as far as driving, it's not that different from your car, except for the fact that the gears are actually reversed. So where first gear is, that's where you shift for reverse, and your first gear is where reverse is, and so on. And it's 5 speed, so I have first, second, third, and fourth, and then a reverse gear. 4-speed transmission. Fourth gear, you actually have to, fourth gear, in order to get into it, you have to go first gear, third gear, and then shift into fourth while you're driving. Otherwise, you just stall the tractor out. But by far, it's one of my favorite things that I have around here. And startup is easy. Turning on the key, pressing the clutch, putting into neutral, and then hitting the starter, which is down here on the floor by the gear shift. And I almost forgot to mention I'm going to drive past the camera in fourth gear just to show how fast that really is. I will be right back. Check what fourth gear is like. So I'm going to turn the needle valve off and then take it backwards. Wet trains. Let's see. Okay, I got 45 more minutes to show, something like that. And maybe we'll kind of start in at 4 o'clock. Let's see. I'm coming back to the engines. Let's keep this over a little. Okay, so not really much that I can say about the engines. There's not much more. Now we're just going to do something for fun since I've pretty much talked about everything that I had to. So I got this really big PVC pipe that I put on the engine exhaust, and we're gonna start the engine up and let it use the pipe as an exhaust. We'll see what it sounds like. I think it's gonna sound really funny. Okay. The funny thing is now it sounds like we're running like a big 6 horsepower Famous engine. But we're really not. We're running a 2 horsepower Fairbanks engine. The gas tank never does that. Hang on. Yeah. That just sounds really funny. But that's what I like doing. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I like to build. Something completely useless. It sounds awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna take that off. And we're gonna get back to just keeping this thing running. But it's about 100 degrees on the cast iron. Right. Yeah, so we had some smoke in there, that's why it's stalling. So I'm just gonna let that run. Okay, so now the only other thing that I had that I wanted to show, it's I know it's the thing, it's just a ladder, but I'm gonna walk under this ladder and I'm gonna prove that nothing bad happens to the person who walks under the ladder. Usually, it's actually the person who is on top of the ladder that has the problem. You walk through, absolutely nothing happens. Problem is, if you walk through and bump it, the guy on top is gonna fall off. That's the funny thing. So yeah. Make sure there's nobody on top of the ladder when you walk through, and there shouldn't be any bad luck that happens. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. So I'm going to put back the live engine feed. I think that's pretty good. Whatever you do not throw to make that part. Whatever you do not throw to make that part.
Hey, are you ready now?
Shut down.
Yeah, well.
Shut down. What? You cut it and I pull it. You can pull it down. Yeah, cut it right down. Okay, so if anybody has any comments, this is the time you're going to want to put them up, because I'm going to be shutting down here in about 2 minutes. Maybe a little bit early, because I actually need to gas the engine up. It's running low. I started with a half tank, and we're almost empty. So I am going to shut down. And thank you to whoever has been watching me for the past hour.